Hey guys, EXE Shadows here, and welcome to my video. It is about Gears of War Judgment's latest podcast, which is the Epic Games 13th podcast, and they talk about Judgment and related topics. And this podcast, they talked about mainly multiplayer, and they talked about a lot about the returning game modes, new game modes, all the game modes within the online experience of Judgment, and a lot about the weapon balancing, and a lot of information about the grenades in Judgment, as you can now choose what grenades you would like to choose as part of your loadout. So Team Deathmatch is returning. It is no more single elimination clutch at the end, as it has been changed into like the Call of Duty styled version, where you have to reach a certain amount of points or kills to win the game. With domination has been confirmed and definitely announced for Judgment. It's going to have 3 rings, and it's only going to have 5 players in the game, as people were thinking, knowing the chaotic chaos of King of the Hill and Gears 3. Maybe having 2 extra rings might include more players. However, Epic have ruled that out, and there will only be 5 players on each team. Each team will start near a ring, and a central ring will be in the middle of the map, and the teams will battle over all these 3 rings to rack a total of points to get a total of 250 points to win. The update flexibility for playlists, they've announced that they will be doing the event playlist for Judgment like they did in Gears of War 3. So you had the Boom Snipes, Get Nasty, King of the National, which you're watching now, This Is My Rifle, and events for Christmas. They will be doing events like that. I can see them doing a classic event where they will be having you able to choose a rifle and a shotgun. Ranked and quick match was a massive thing which affected Gears of War 3's online and the amount of people who played it, as quick match destroyed the idea of ranked, as many people moved on to quick match from ranked as the game got into it. Over about 6 months from the release of Gears of War 3, ranked died off and quick match took place as the number one thing to choose to play on Gears of War 3, and they will still be separate on Gears of War Judgment, exactly the same as they were on Gears of War 3. There will be no more Warzone or Execution, or so there's no more single elimination game modes in Gears of War Judgment, as well as there's only going to be 4 game modes shipped on multiplayer when it's Gears of War Judgment comes out on March 19th. The 4 game modes are Overrun, which is basically Horde and Beast mixed into one, so everyone that loves Horde, I don't think Horde or Beast are returning separately. There will also be Team Deathmatch, Domination and Free For All, and that is it to choose from to play online. And I can see why they're doing this, because they had 4 game modes on Gears of War 1, which was Warzone, Execution, Assassination, which was basically the leader game type, Guardian, and then later they introduced Annex, and then onto Gears 2 it introduced a few more game modes, and then the game modes went up to about 10, and then Gears of War 3 introduced a few more game modes and deleted some old ones, and they had about 15-19 playlists for you to play of game modes on Gears of War 3. And so going back down to just 3 multiplayer game modes, Team Deathmatch, Domination, Free For All for Judgment, it will put a lot of players in together and put a lot of players into one group, so you'll be able to play more game modes with more players, as having so many game modes in Gears 3, the players were kind of like spread out over the game, so it seemed like not many people was playing the game. So next thing they talked about was grenades. A lot of grenade discussion wasn't discussed within the podcast. Frag grenades were really powerful, and the range was massive on Gears of War 3, but now they're a part of your loadout. The grenade damage has been tweaked, and it is said to be less than half than it was in Gears of War 3, and the radius and range has been slightly reduced. With frag and ink grenades in Gears of War Judgment, you can only start with one of them. However, you can start with 2 smoke grenades or healing grenades or stim grenades, as they are kind of like grenades which help out your team, and the other 2 grenades, frag and inks, are more like attacking grenades. And talking about loadouts, the loadouts for Judgment are Lancer, Nasher, Classic Hammerburst, Regular Hammerburst, Sword Off Retro and the Marksar, as you can only have one primary weapon, and then you can have the grenades, which I've just talked about, and you can choose from them grenades. Flame grenades are in the game. If you don't worry, they're still in the game, but they're not part of your loadout because they were really powerful, as they are exactly the same as they were in Gears of War 3. Some maps within the game will have environmental areas which are going to be interactive, which we've experienced from other Gears of War maps, like the Flood from Gears 2, Security, Avalanche from Gears 2, Bullet Marsh from Gears 1, Gears 3, and we've also already seen interactive parts of the maps. It's just basically new ways to get you into combat situations. There isn't going to be a button where you press and everyone's going to die, but there's parts that we've seen from the videos already, like a library with the secret door leading to the one-shot, and they're going to try to interrogate a lot of stuff like that into the maps, as the maps on Gears of War were known for being symmetrical. Like if you put a mirror down the if you put a mirror down halfway of each map on Gears of War, it was symmetrical on both sides, but now all the maps on Judgment won't be symmetrical, so the maps are going to be a lot more interesting, and they've got to put a lot more work into making them. And the mantle kick was discussed, and they've had a lot of look at it, and it hasn't been changed. They said they haven't done any tweaking from it as it was in Gears 3, but I felt like it was one of the most inconsistent shit from Gears of War 3, because you could hover up like above the cover and then they mantle kick you, but they kind of blame it on lag compensation, and they say with better dedicated servers the mantle kick should be fixed. And that is really everything I have to talk about, and what they talked about in the podcast. I have the link in the description if you want to go listen to the full 26 minutes, but I'm going to quickly talk about for a minute my personal opinions and the removal of Warzone and Execution. I'm not really bothered. The only thing I really got out of them game modes was the clutching videos, but now them game modes are gone. There are no more clutching videos, so the clans like EXE and a lot of YouTubers who did a lot of clutch videos, so you got Moo Milk, who was known for clutching, they are all that idea and videos are all gone as Gears of War Judgment is released. So a lot of YouTubers got to think about new episodes and new ideas to come up with. The announcement of Quick Match, I definitely agree with this. After a while, I did like the idea of ranked, where you'll be able to get into a pre-game lobby and you'll be able to shit talk the team on the other side just before the game starts, and that's what made Gears of War get Gears of War for the first 3 Gears of War titles. But I did move on to Quick Match. It was a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable to play, as you can get into game after game after game, and you didn't need a full 10-man lobby to play. And the announcement of Team Deathmatch, I didn't really play Team Deathmatch, and the announcement of Domination, I think everything they've announced so far I'm happy with, and the only thing I'm pissed off about is not downing but not being in Gears of War, because we're so used to it, and it made Gears of War Gears of War. But that's it, guys. This is the end of the gameplay. Thanks for watching, and I have the link in the description for the podcast if you want to go watch it. Thanks for enjoying my video, and I'll see you on my next one.